Hi guys, my name is Lori and I am the Ogden Stitcher here on YouTube and Instagram. This video is about cross stitch. So if you're not a cross stitch person, this might not be for you, but I wanted to do a little bit of explaining. I have some people that are watching that have never cross stitched and know nothing about it. So, and here is the famous floss tube nose itch. So you use X's with thread to create pictures. And when I'm talking about the type of fabric I'm using, and I'm talking about the count, so there's 28, 32, 20, 18. Usually with linen, if I say it's a 40 count, that means there's 40 threads per inch. There's linen, which you are counting threads when you stitch. There's Aida, which is kind of pre-formed squares, and most people start on Aida. Not everyone does. Some people start on linen. I started on Aida. I still am stitching on Aida. And then there is even weaves. The problem with linen is you get slubs in your fabric. It's not uniform all the time. And some people don't like that, where even weave, the threads are, spaced evenly. There's no slubs. Like a slub would be like, I want to say like a bunch of fibers that have clumped together. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're larger. But on even weave, you don't get that. So when I'm talking about a count of fabric, that's what I'm talking about, is usually how many threads per inch. Anyway, so last month I had some goals, right? So I'm going to show you my finishes first. So I finished this. This is Cardinal Kin. I finished that last month and gave it to my finisher, Candace. And she put it into a pillow. And she put this cute little fabric on it. This is by Plum Street Samplers, okay? This is one of their trios or stacks, whatever you want to call them. So that's that one. And then I had finished this one, I think, in January and given it to Candace. And this is the Sea Turtles. And she gave it back to me after I had done my last video. And this is on a 28 count, so that's why you can see the difference when you're stitching. You can stitch almost anything on any type of fabric. It's gonna, if you want to change the size of the end product, is when you start changing your thread counts, okay? So if you want it smaller, you go to a higher count linen, which is this. This is a 36 linen. If you want it bigger, you go to a lower number, which is 28, which is, this one is 28. So it made it bigger at the end product. And on this one, she put this cute fabric on the back. So Candace is my finisher and she does an awesome job. And she'll probably comment on this video. So if you have questions about what she does, you can reach out to her. She's super friendly, does a great job. Will do what you want. Within reason, right? Anyway, so I'm going to show a few other things that Candace has finished for me that are older, but I wanted to highlight her a little bit in this video. I have a box of stuff. So she did this. She finished this. This is called Boo Juice. I got it out of one of the cross stitch magazines. And I stitched it a long time ago when I found it in my stash. And she put it on this board with the ribbon. And I love how she did it. She put the little spider down here at the bottom. So that's Boo Juice. This next one, now I don't want you guys, if you're a die-hard Blackbird design person, I don't want you to clutch your pearls when you see this. Because I did this on 40 counts, so it made it smaller, and I wanted it in a pillow. So it's a large pillow, but I didn't want to frame it. So this is Away We Ride. And she made it as a pillow, put the trim on the bottom, put this little safety pin up here with some buttons on it. I'm going to make sure you guys can see it. And then she put this cute finishing fabric on the back. This is one of my favorite finishes. I think it turned out good. It highlights the Away We Ride, and I think it's awesome. So the next few things are Christmas items that she finished for me, and I'm talking as I'm digging. Oh. Okay. She did this little pillow, put some, it looks like pom-poms on the side, and put this cute fabric. This is a Lizzie Kate, an older Lizzie Kate that I had done. I actually coffeed and tea-tied this fabric. And there was another pillow, but I gave it away as a Christmas present, and it said Be Naughty on it. And then there's this one, which she made into a flat fold. This is another Lizzie Kate. And I coffee tea dyed this fabric also, and she made it into the flat fold and had the fabric on the back of it. And she's just done such a great job. Sorry, you're probably gonna hear one of my dogs. She's walking around and her nails are clicking. And then she did this one, which I think this is, I don't know if it's Country Cottage or, I think this is Country Cottage. So she did this, she mounted it on this easel and put the bow on it. Sorry, I want to make sure I don't damage anything. Putting it back in. And then this is a kit that I got years ago at Shepherd's Bush, and I had finished it, and I found it had all the finishing stuff in it, and Candace put it together for me and finished it. Just love this. This is beautiful. So Candace will ask you what you want. You can give her fabric, or she can find you fabric. She's actually got she's got a piece that I stitched over 20 years ago that I found. And I asked her, I said, I don't know what to do with this. And she says, I think we're going to make it into a wall hanging. So hopefully you'll see that in the future. And she can give you ideas. She can help you with what she thinks would look best. If you don't care, a lot of times I just give it to her. At first I was like, no, I want it this way. And I didn't pull out my Christmas ornaments. That the first thing she ever finished for me, the Little House Christmas ornaments. I'll try and find them. I know they're packed away with my Christmas stuff. Anyway, she made the ornaments. They were beautiful. And I had already bought the fabric. I said, this is the fabric I want you to use. And she did that. So she's very good to work with, very worth the money. And I don't have to do it. I can finish. I'm not precise as Candace is. I can finish, but that's not where I want to spend my time. I'm going to spend my time stitching. So for me, I would rather pay somebody to finish. That's just my thoughts on the subject. Anyway, so last month, my goal was to complete Gypsy Queen. And this is a Mirabilia. And I have completed her. She's all beaded. I want to make sure you guys can see her. I'm going to slide this way a little bit. This was my oldest whip. I probably finished stitching her in 2019, but I was struggling with the beading, and so I couldn't find a setup, or I tried using the invisible thread, and that I just couldn't see it. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to use, and I just chose to find a DMC color that was closest to the color of the bead, and that's what I did. And I think she turned out beautiful. She is on 32 count Misty Morning Linen from Under the Sea Fabrics. So if you guys, and I bought the fabric years ago, so I don't know if Under the Sea still carries this color, but I think she turned out gorgeous. I am in the process of, I'm going to get a micro iron. I have pressed her somewhat, but the micro iron is super tiny, has super tiny attachments that I can get in close into some of these spots without melting the Krynic or doing anything dumb like that, which I probably would do if I didn't know better. So that's where and then I'm going to take her and have her framed. So this is Gypsy Queen by Mirabilia. I'm sure you guys have seen her. And of course, with, you know, Lady of the Flag and Queen of Freedom being re-released, I'm sure Mirabilia is a hot item. My other goal was to get 5,000 stitches on my Haid. And I am just going to hold him up. And I did get over 6,000 stitches on him. Do I have him the right way first off? Nope, I do not. That's always my problem with him. So I worked over here and got 5,000 stitches done, or 6,000 stitches done up in this corner. And then I decided for March I really wanted to work on his face and work on the turtle. So now I am down here and I'm working here and in his face, and I've already gotten over 1,000 stitches. My goal again this month is to get another 5,000 stitches on him. This is what he will look like when he is done. I hope you guys can see that. It's in the plastic. I am using Pattern Keeper. I originally was trying a paper chart because that's what I usually use, is a paper chart. But it was to do a Haid with a paper chart for me is difficult. I know some people do it, but yeah, that's not my jam because I want to enjoy what I'm stitching. So I moved it to Pattern Keeper, and that helps me keep track of how many stitches I do a day. And then I write them down on a little planner and add them up as I'm going, so I see where I'm at and how many I've done. My next thing is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. This is a SAL that there's 4 of us that are doing it. We're all doing it on different fabrics, different floss. But this is what it will look like when it's done. And we've divided it into 18 parts. Do I have it right side up? Yes, I have it right side up. And then I have finished my 6th month, which was this section over here. And so this is what I am doing it on 40 count. And I can't remember the name. It's a Zweigart, one of the like Snowy Mountain or something like that, kind of like the Vintage Country Mocha, but in white. And I'm using color and cotton conversion. So I'm excited for this next month, which I can start next week on the 16th, and because I'll get to do one of the butterflies. So I'm excited to do that. So that's where we're at on our SAL. And I just realized I forgot one of my starts, which shouldn't surprise you. I started the moose, and I didn't get very far, so I'll show him next time. But I love stitching on him. Then my next goal was to start this. Okay, so this project is for Robin. And it's a Prairie Schooler, and I had finished one and I started the next one. And Robin passed away a couple weeks ago, and I want to get this project done for her. Because first of all, I promised I would do it for her, and she was a good person, and she just wanted somebody to finish her projects so that they could go to family members and things. And so this is how far I am. This is July, and I'm almost done with the house, and then I'm going to finish this, and then I've got May and October, and one of the ladies that I stitched with volunteered to do one of them, so she's going to do October for me, and I'm going to do May. So I hope to have this one, the July one, done by the end of March. That's my goal. I feel, for me, if I give myself small goals, I do better. I focus, and I can get stuff done. On my sea turtle, again, I'm going to try and do 5,000 stitches this month. And since I'm already at over 1,000, this is the 12th, I think. I think that's pretty doable. So my goal is to get the July done, and to get, sorry, I don't want to lose my needle, and to get 5,000 stitches on my hay. Those are the two main goals for this month. And then this is my chatelaine. I did a little work on it yesterday. I'm not loving the orange, but we'll see once I get the other colors in how it's gonna work out and how it's gonna come. So I haven't added any of the beads yet. I'm just doing the cross stitch part, and it's small, so it hopefully I can get close to getting all the stitching done this month. That's my other goal, is to try and get as much of the stitching done on it as I can so that I can start beading it. I was going to bead as I went, but then I wanted to wait to see how all the colors laid out, because of course outsourcing beads right now from different places is hard. And so my friend got me some beads, and so I want to see all the colors done with the cross stitch before I decide what color I'm going to put where. No matter what the pattern says, I'm going to put the colors I like where I like it. So that's that. I got stuff all over my table. Okay. Now, these are two things I plan on starting this month. And I was going to start this one yesterday, but when I'm doing 40 count on a dark fabric, well, when I'm doing 40 count, I feel more comfortable when I'm at home with my OttLite, my overhead OttLite, and it just works out best for me that way. But this is Chalet in the Snow. Now, I am going to use Petite Treasure braids in the Aurora, however you say it, Aurora Borealis, in the sky parts, in the pink and the purple, to highlight it. I did Cabin in the Woods, and I added beads instead of all the stars in the top. I used a gold bead. I guess I should have brought that out and showed it to you. But eventually I'll bring it out and show it to you. But this is my next start. And she is going to be on anthracite 40 count, which is what I did Cabin in the Woods on. And I'm using the Roxy Flossco conversion. So she should pop on this fabric. I loved how Cabin in the Woods popped on that fabric, and I'm going to start her. On the same fabric, sorry. My brain is running in 100 million directions, right? Isn't that what happens when you start to do a floss tube? Start, oh, did I forget something? And my other start for this month is going to be Sun Goddess by Mirabilia. I'm now, since I finished Gypsy Queen, I'm now really excited to start this one. I feel that I can do the beads and I'll be fine. I ordered the bead pack, so hopefully it'll be here next week. And like, I need to spend more money since Market releases, right? And they're all coming, but I am going to start her, and I'm going to put her on this fabric. And she has a very similar colorway to Gypsy Queen. So I put the colors on here for Gypsy Queen, and they looked good. And this is a 32 count Jobelin from Dying for Cross Stitch. And I bought this piece of fabric years ago when I saw it, because I really I thought, oh, it's going to do well with the colors. So hopefully you'll be able to see my progress on my next video with her. And those are my plans and what I've stitched this month. I was going to show you, I bought this bowl. It's kind of a weevil bowl, and this is how I'm displaying my pillows right now. I'm going to get some, maybe some raffia or something in here to kind of give it a different height so that they're not all the same. I didn't want all my pillows to be a uniform size. I wanted I wanted them to be different, and so I did it this way. And that's how I display that. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. that I'm forgetting. I don't think so. The other thing is, every once in a while we want a sweet treat, right? So I'm going to end this by showing you something that I tried. I am not a Peep person, really. I like marshmallows and I like that, but regular Peeps just never really appealed to me. And then I found these sour watermelon. These are like, they're so good. So if you love watermelon and try these, just pick up a pack and try them. I really like them. I'm a big Easter candy person, so Easter is my I guess aesthetic when it comes to candy. I like a lot of candy from Easter. You know, the colors mostly. I love the colored M&Ms and how they do them in the pastels. I've always liked that. And the sweet tarts that the ducks and the chicks that are in the pastels, I love those. And I think it's just the colors that draw me to them. But I really love those sour watermelon Peeps. Anyway, that's all I have to show you this time. If you have any questions or comments or something I could do better, feel free to put it in the chat at the bottom. And I hope you guys have a great day. It's a beautiful day here. We went for our walk. It's almost 60, sunshiny. There's snow on the mountain. So it's been a beautiful day so far. Keep stitching, and most of all, be kind. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye.